All right, welcome to this next lesson, Chapter 7, Lesson 4, where we're going to be identifying parts of expressions, specifically algebraic expressions. So you're going to get some new vocabulary today, and I will have you write that on the left side of your notebook under your notes. And our objective is I can identify and describe parts of expressions. Let's go ahead and jump in. Before we get started, I want you to take a moment to practice these three expressions. So solve these three expressions based on the order of operations, and I'll just give you the answers in just a moment. So pause your video now, copy these into the left side of your notebook as a warm-up, and let's see how you do. Alright, so there's the answers, 71, 90, and 14. Now if you struggled with these, please pause your video and come talk to me because it is very important that you know how to do these. That's just a warm-up to get us started into this next part. Okay, vocabulary. The first thing I'm going to teach you is the word term. When we're talking expressions, the word term is the parts of an expression that are separated by an addition or a subtraction sign. So you'll notice here that we have an addition sign. Now there's a left side and a right side of our addition sign. Each side is one term. So we have two terms here. Our first term is 4k. Our second term is just 5. So those are the two terms in our expression. So let's go ahead and look at the next part here. But terms are just those things separated by the addition signs. Looking at the same expression, I'm going to teach you the word coefficient. Again, that word is coefficient. It's a number that is multiplied by a variable. In lesson 7.3, I taught you that a variable is those letters that you find or symbols in your expressions, like here we have a k. So think about it. What number is being multiplied by k? It's 4. So in this situation, the coefficient is simply 4. And our variable is k. I'll write that in here just to remind us. Coefficient is the number being multiplied by the variable. So there's our coefficient. And here is our variable. And then again, here's a term and that's a term. So let's look at the parts of this expression. So first of all, where are our terms? Remember, our terms are what are separated by our addition. Whoa, that was a really thick marker there. Our addition or subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and say that here's our addition sign. On the left we have 2k or 2x, and on the right we have 8. Those are our terms in this expression. Our coefficient is the number multiplied by our variable, and we only have one variable in here, which is the letter, and that's x. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my variable, and x is being multiplied by our coefficient, which in this case is 2. Okay, so I have 2x plus 8, and that gives me 2x and 8 as terms. 2 is a coefficient, and x as a variable. Now if we were to write this in a word expression, it would be 8 more than the blank of blank and x. Well, here they're looking for an operation. 8 more than the product. Now I'm saying product here because we multiplied 2 and x. So more than the product, I don't know if that'll fit. Woo! Let's try this again. Let me switch. More than the product of 2 and x. And that would be the word expression to match my algebraic expression. Pretty cool, huh? Not too difficult. Let's go ahead and give you a chance to try one. Okay, so write this in your notebook on the right side. Here's your chance to try it. What are the parts of this expression? What are my terms? What is my coefficient or coefficients if I have more than one? What are my variable or variables if I have more than one? And then try this out. The difference of blank times blank and 4 blank b. See if you can fill in what the missing words are here. Go ahead and pause it, write it in the right side of your notebook, and this is your only real try it problem for this lesson. So make sure that you have this and take the space that you need in your book. Okay. Again, we're just mostly working with vocabulary here so that I can make sure that you guys totally understand these words. Our terms are what are separated by our subtraction sign. So in this situation we have 3a and 4b. Those are both terms. My coefficient are what I'm multiplying my variables by. I have 2 because I have 2 variables. I have 3 and 4. 3 is coming from this first variable and term, and then 4 is coming from this variable and term. Remember, the coefficient is what am I multiplying my variables by, and the variables are my letters, A and B. Okay, so that part, the terms, coefficients, and variables, isn't too difficult. Let's try the word expression. So the difference, meaning subtraction, which we see is our subtraction, our expression. The difference of blank times blank. Well, I have the difference of 3a minus 4b. Well, they already had 4b, so we're going to put our operation there. We times those. 4 times b, and the difference of 3 times a. Now, if you got lost on this word expression part, please raise your hand and I'll come help you with it. Okay, the last problem for today, and this one's a bonus that you need to check with me before you move on to your menu items. But this is going to go on the right side of your notebook after your try it problem, and then I'm going to check it because there's so many different ways you could do this. But I'm going to give you an example to kind of help you out. What it's asking you to do is to give an example of an expression with 4 terms and 2 different variables. So there's so many things you could do here. You just need to make sure you have 4 terms and 2 variables. So let me show you an example of how I would do this. And I can be creative here with all my different numbers. So 4 terms and 2 different variables. I'm going to try 3r. Now that's a term plus 2. I'm looking to get 4 terms, so I've got 2 so far. Subtract 6. Now I need 2 different variables, so I'm going to add in another variable here. I'm going to use the variable j. And then I need 1 more term because I have currently 1, 2, 3 terms. I'm looking to have 4 terms and 2 different variables. So I'm good on my variables, I just need 1 more term. And let's do plus 12. And that's all. That is one example of how you could solve this problem. You could do it any sort of a way as long as you have 4 terms and 2 different variables. So make sure you check this one with me. And I hope this lesson helped. Again, just make sure you understand what a term, a coefficient, and a variable are. If you're not sure, go back, rewatch, and ask me questions as necessary. Thanks, guys.